Hello, viewers. Welcome to today's session. Our today's topic is Concept of Economics of Education. Please watch the full video carefully and write down the important points. At the end, you will find some multiple choice questions to check and strengthen your learning. Let us understand the concept of economics of education. Economics of education is an interdisciplinary field that explores the relationship between education and economic processes. It applies economic principles, theories, and models to understand how education influences and is influenced by economic development, investment, resource allocation, and individual as well as national productivity. Definition: Economics of education refers to the study of how educational resources are allocated, utilized, and impact economic outcomes, both at the individual and societal levels. Blaug, 1970, defines it as the application of economic principles, tools, and concepts to study educational decision making. Objectives of Economics of Education: 1. To analyze the costs and benefits of education at all levels. This objective involves conducting a cost benefit analysis (CBA) to evaluate whether the returns from education, such as better jobs, higher income, and social mobility, justify the investments made in it. This includes both direct costs, fees, books, infrastructure, and indirect costs, opportunity cost, such as time lost in earning. 2. To understand the role of education in economic development, education plays a pivotal role in economic growth, employment generation, and productivity improvement. By enhancing the skill set and knowledge base of individuals, education contributes directly to a country's GDP and competitiveness in the global market. 3. To study investment in education as human capital. This objective is rooted in human capital theory, which views education as an investment that increases the productivity and efficiency of individuals. Like physical capital, machines, or infrastructure, investing in human beings through education brings economic returns in the form of skilled labor and innovation. 4. To determine the optimal allocation of resources in education, resources such as funds, teachers, infrastructure, and materials are limited. Economics of education seeks to allocate these resources efficiently and effectively to maximize educational outcomes. 5. To formulate education policies based on economic efficiency and equity. One of the major goals is to help formulate policies that are economically viable, cost effective, and socially just. This means ensuring maximum educational impact with minimum wastage of resources while also addressing issues of social inequality. Now let us understand importance of economics in education. 1. Optimal allocation of scarce resources. Education systems often operate under limited budgets and resource constraints. Economics helps determine the most efficient allocation of resources, such as money, time, teachers, and infrastructure, to ensure maximum educational output with minimum input. 2. Evaluation of education as an investment. Economics treats education as an investment in human capital. It enables policymakers and individuals to analyze the returns on education in terms of income, employability, and economic productivity. 3. Educational planning and budgeting. Economic principles are essential in educational planning and budgeting at both the macro, national, state, and micro, institutional levels. This ensures strategic resource distribution for maximum impact and equity. 4. Linking education to economic development. Economics highlights the role of education in national growth, technological advancement, and poverty alleviation. A well educated workforce is the foundation for a strong, resilient economy. 5. Policy formulation based on economic efficiency and equity. Economic tools help assess policy alternatives for their efficiency, value for money, and equity, fairness. This ensures that education policies serve both economic goals and social justice. 6. Measuring outcomes and performance. Economics provides quantitative tools to measure educational outcomes, including student performance, dropout rates, employment statistics, and return on investment. 7. Encouraging accountability and transparency. Economic analysis helps track the flow and utilization of educational funds, promoting transparency and reducing corruption. It also holds educational institutions accountable for results. Let me explore education as an investment. 1. Human capital theory, pioneered by economists like Theodore Schultz and Gary Becker. This theory argues that just as physical capital, machines, tools, increases productivity, education builds human capital, which boosts individual productivity and contributes to economic growth. 2. Types of educational investment. Private investment, made by individuals or families to improve personal income and job prospects. Example, paying for higher education. Public investment, made by the government in the form of subsidies, infrastructure, teacher salaries, and public schooling, aimed at national development. 3. Costs of educational investment. These include direct costs, tuition fees, books, uniforms, etc. Indirect costs, opportunity costs like loss of income when studying instead of working. 4. Returns from educational investment. These returns can be private returns, higher lifetime earnings, improved employment opportunities, better health, and self-confidence. Social returns, more informed citizens, reduced crime, greater innovation, and economic productivity. 5. Education and economic growth. Investment in education leads to a more skilled and innovative workforce. This fuels technological advancement, higher GDP, and global competitiveness. 6. Intergenerational benefits. Educated parents are more likely to value and invest in the education of their children, creating a cycle of socio-economic improvement. 7. Role in reducing poverty and inequality. Education empowers marginalized groups with knowledge and skills to access better economic opportunities, helping reduce poverty and income inequality. 8. Risk and uncertainty in investment. Like any investment, education carries risks. Job markets may change, degrees may become obsolete, or unemployment may persist despite qualifications. Dear viewers, let's solve some important multiple choice questions based on the presentation. 1. Who is known for developing the human capital theory? A. Emile Durkheim. B. Theodore Schultz. C. Jean Piaget. D. B. F. Skinner. Answer: B. Theodore Schultz. 2. Education is considered an investment because A. It only benefits the wealthy. B. It involves high financial costs. C. It yields economic returns in the future. D. It is managed by private institutions. Answer: C. It yields economic returns in the future. 3. What is the primary focus of microlevel educational finance? A. National education policy. B. Global funding patterns. C. Individual and institutional budgeting. D. Defense expenditure. Answer: C. Individual and institutional budgeting. 4. Which of the following is a direct cost in education? A. Loss of wages during study. B. Travel time to school. C. Tuition fees. D. Emotional stress of exams. Answer: C. Tuition fees. 5. Cost-benefit analysis in education is used to A. Analyze teacher behavior. B. Compare expenditure with learning outcomes. C. Measure social awareness. D. Determine curriculum content. Answer: B. Compare expenditure with learning outcomes. 6. Which of the following is not a goal of economics of education? A. To understand educational planning. B. To study return on investment in education. C. To analyze religious teachings. D. To ensure efficient resource allocation. Answer: C. To analyze religious teachings. 7. Human capital theory emphasizes A. Physical infrastructure. B. Capital accumulation through technology. C. Investment in skills and knowledge. D. Political ideology. Answer: C. Investment in skills and knowledge. 8. The main aim of educational budgeting is A. To reduce curriculum load. B. To allocate resources efficiently. C. To increase school holidays. D. To privatize all institutions. Answer: B. To allocate resources efficiently. 9. Social return from education includes A. Salary increase. B. Job promotion. C. National productivity and civic awareness. D. Private tuition income. Answer: C. National productivity and civic awareness. 10. Which of the following tools is commonly used in educational economics? A. SWOT analysis. B. IQ testing. C. Cost effectiveness analysis. D. Curriculum mapping. Answer: C. Cost effectiveness analysis. Thank you, don't miss out. Subscribe now to my YouTube channel, Education and Teacher Education, for insightful content and valuable resources.